Tonight's DJNTV show is sponsored in part by Electro Voice, DJ Event Planner, ADJ, NLFX Professional, Promo Only, Newmark, and DJNTV Insiders.
Welcome everyone to Wedding Chat with me, Dave Ternier.
Hey, and I'm Jeremy Brech. How are you?
Jeremy?
Yeah? I hear an echo. Is it my microphone?
Try to do these, Jeremy, where are you?
Yeah. I'm in Midwest DJs Live. Where are you at? Oh, hey, Dave.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
So I don't need to do this anymore. I can turn this off.
Yeah.
Hold on, I wasn't prepared. We should have communicated better.
We should have communicated better.
Some comedy classes.
Anyway, welcome
Didn't see
everyone
that coming. Welcome, everybody.
to Wedding Chat with this guy.
With me and Dave. Dave Turner.
And me. Yeah.
KC.
And KC in the
JC's
back.
in the background.
Hey guys, so this was Dave's first presentation on a stage in front of DJs, and I mean it's just been overwhelming. All of the people coming up to him and saying, "Man, you crushed it! You never would have guessed that this was his first time on stage. Did an awesome job. If you ever have an opportunity to hear him on stage, go listen to him. If you have an opportunity to bring him to your area to have him present, it was phenomenal. Word of mouth. I mean that's huge. That's huge."
Yeah, you know, it's a topic that I'm pretty passionate about, and you know, one of the reasons we decided to come to you all live from Midwest DJs Live here is because, you know, they have such a great conference going on here that has in fact been powered by word of mouth.
Yeah,
I mean, this is just a small regional thing organized by a volunteer-led board of directors, and I mean, they don't have these massive advertising budgets, and I think this show is such a testament to what word of mouth is all about. So. It was a pleasure to speak on. It's been a huge thing for me, so thank you for the compliments.
Yeah, it's been a phenomenal 2 days. There's a lot of great networking. I mean, even right now we're at lunch break and doing this cast, and there's so much conversations going on in the hall. There's so many. Like we just sat down with 8 people at a table having lunch, and those conversations are gold. And I think that's what a lot of people miss. You can communicate via the web and Facebook and all that stuff. But it's being next to those people and emotionally connecting with people in conversation that is just so powerful. And I mean, it's such a blessing to be in this industry and to feel like we make a difference in this industry. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, very true. And you know, one of the comments I just want to reflect on that you've made about having lunch with some great people and the conversation that happens there.
Well, and Bill Horman was there too.
Well, yeah, exception to the rule. There's always one.
Right.
But you know, I always strive to, and this is always a bit of a conflict with me actually. I love coming to shows, love seeing lots of old friends and this type of thing, but I'm always striving to meet new people as well. And so, you know, I try to get lunch or dinner in with, you know, everybody I know at least once, but I'm always trying to make sure that there are new people there as well.
Yeah.
If all I do is keep myself surrounded by the same people, you know, if I go to a DJ show and I just keep myself surrounded by the same people all the time, I get stuck in a bubble that is not, I mean, you get comfortable, but you don't, I mean, I read a quote the other day, you know, your next opportunity will come from the person you haven't met yet, or something like that. Right. And so it was great to have Howard at lunch today. And,
and I had never really had conversations with Howard Wallach before.
Yeah.
He presented yesterday. Again, great presentation. I mean, all the presentations have been amazing.
Yeah.
But just having lunch with Howard, and I didn't get to like sit right next to him, but being in conversations, hearing conversations that were going on is so powerful. I would say probably one of my most inspiring conversations that I've had is with this guy.
This guy right here.
You know what?
Making this conference happen.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
If you can even understand the amount of hard work that goes into a conference like this, Mitch and the rest of the board has done a phenomenal job. And I've told Mitch yesterday, and I mean, just even going into this show, I've said, you know, you've done an awesome job. You put together great content. And, you know, just actually listening to these great presenters and this content is just, it's been so awesome, and we cannot give Mitch and the rest of the team
support. It's a whole team. We know that.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna say, like, I'll say it again right here, like what I said on the stage earlier. I mean, this I believe might be the conference that all other conferences become measured against.
The new bar.
It has been really, really remarkable. And so I know you're not just one person doing this, but on behalf of your board, please accept Jeremy and I. You guys have done an amazing job.
Yeah, absolutely. It's you guys have a lot to do.
Honored to serve with guys and gals that get it, that truly want to put best foot forward for not just attendees, but also sponsors of the show as well, and also to give back. The opportunity we have right now to give back to the Stars and family is great.
Oh yeah.
So to me, those are three things I think are very important for us to do. And I'm just very grateful to have a great team that come together, and it's not today, it's the last 10 months of work and planning that is culminating in the last 2 days.
And I mean, it's even more than 10 months, because you guys have already announced next year's show.
Yes.
And give it a plug, man.
So Midwest DJs Live 11 is back here at Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. April 28th will be our Sunday night welcome party, and then the 29th and 30th will be our 2 days of content. We have one speaker currently announced. Stacy Nichols is speaking on Pinterest marketing.
Yeah.
She absolutely killed it at 2 previous conferences, Wedding MBA, and so we're proud to bring her to the Midwest. So guys locally and gals locally who may not always be able to get a chance to get out to those national shows, they can experience her regionally here in the Midwest, Midwest DJs Live. More announcements coming soon. You can get tickets right now at MidwestDJsLive.com.
Now, can they get the show special right now?
Yeah,
even though they're not like
so anyone gets the show special right now. It's $111.11.
$111.11 to celebrate Midwest DJs Live 11. This is the 11th year.
My profit first. Totally a joke.
And quick plug here, by the way, for Potawatomi Hotel.
Yeah.
I mean, I ran into a custodian about 30, 45 minutes ago, and I just paused to tell him what a spectacular thing you did, God, especially for this conference. I told the individual that I spoke with, I said, look, I'm coming back here next year in part because of the remarkable facility that you have that they get to present this conference in. I mean, it's really, really been great.
Yeah, our production team, Jeffrey Sandler, and our guys have been absolutely phenomenal. I can't stress how much of a difference that is. I feel too.
You guys have done a great job of keeping all the speakers on time and everything. And I can tell you for my presentation, that's not going to happen. So,
and Mitch goes into being in a bad mood.
I literally have to go and pull this guy.
I just got the hook.
Mitch is about to go hack half of Jeremy's slides off before Jeremy gets up there.
78 slides in 45 minutes. Let's see what I can do.
Slides are free, but you still need to get through them.
I will.
Thanks for stopping by, Mitch. We'll carry on. We know you have things to do.
Great job.
Great job. Thank you, guys.
You bet.
So we were talking about lunch and having great conversation with people, meeting new people, and my favorite person that I've met came all the way from the UK. She came from London to be here in Milwaukee for the show. How did she find the show? She looked online. She Google searched.
Literally Googled
disc jockey conferences.
Yeah, and this one came up.
And so she flew in. I mean, we're talking, people. If you live in the Midwest, you should be at the show.
Right.
This conference should have double attendance next year. But she came in from London.
Yeah, she literally flew in Saturday, and she leaves tomorrow. Like she's just here for the conference. Don't think that she's here for some greater purpose as well. And it happens for this conference. No, she came for this.
And you don't go to Milwaukee for the tourism. It's just, she's here for the conference. So I ran 3 miles here today, and it's not a tourist area. So. But anyway, sorry if you're from Milwaukee. This is a great place. This is a great hotel.
Yeah.
But the reason I bring her up is because she's made the effort and she wants to progress in what she's doing. I had such great conversation with her at lunch that we said, you know what, we're going to dinner tonight. I would love for you to join us at this. It was Odd Duck. Dave lined this thing up, and okay. So Dave talked about word of mouth, and how did he find this place? He goes on what, Yelp?
I went on to TripAdvisor.
There you go.
So I had a dinner last night to try to find a unique place, and we'd had a meh dinner the night before. So I'm like, okay, really want tonight to knock out of the park.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, let's do some word of mouth marketing right here. If anybody ever comes to Milwaukee and you're looking for a place to go to dinner, Odd Duck, not the Odd Duck, not Odd Ducks, just Odd Duck. I don't even know how to explain the experience we had there last night. It was unbelievable. I mean, you know, just these small portions, you know, generally everybody would order 2 portions for themselves probably. And just the menu changes at this place, not every season, not once a month, but every day.
Yeah, not even a week. It's not the weekly special.
Every day the menu changes at this place. And nothing you've ever had before is on the menu at this place. Check out Odd Duck. Look at their website. Amazing.
Yeah. And again, that was the conversation of, hey, I enjoyed having lunch with you. I would love for you to join us for dinner.
Yeah.
And, you know, so she joined us, and I got a chance to actually sit by her. I said, I would love for you just to have it. Her name is Sophia. I had a chance to sit by her and ask her questions because she has such a really cool ideas of what she's doing with her DJ company. What her purpose is as a DJ.
Okay.
And it's not just that, well, I play music and hope people dance and, you know, I'm an MC. She talked about women empowerment and what is music talking about? What is music saying to girls and women and all this? And she has this, almost this inspirational message that goes along with what she does as a DJ. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that is awesome. So that was such a great conversation. And when you talk about the experience at this restaurant, you know, we all sat down and we're like, we had this, you know, because it's not a menu, it's a piece of paper. Like they just printed it off that day.
So a piece of legal size paper.
Yeah. And we're reading through this and I'm like, none of this sounds good. I'm like, beets. Yeah, I don't like beets. Yeah, no.
Octopus.
Yeah. It's like,
duck.
Not finding what I'm loving. And so we asked the waitress, we're like, okay, so tell us, what are we going to be experiencing here? She goes, well, you're going to get small plates that you're going to share.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, hold on. If they're small plates, how much are we actually going to be able to share if they're not very big portions?
Jeremy was asking how many rib pieces are there in there?
Yeah. Okay. The riblets sound great. How much is there? She goes, well, it's not on the bone, but you'll get little pieces of riblets. I'm like, okay, so you're holding your hands about this big. Is that as big as the meat is? Because I'm going to need more than that. But I think the message that we want to kind of portray in this session here today is it's not about the size. It's not about, you know, when people say, well, what am I getting for my $2,000 for a DJ or my $5,000 for a DJ? What am I getting?
Yeah.
No, it's not, oh, you're going to get all these speakers. And you know what? Usually we only have this amount of speakers, but we're going to bring more because you're paying more. We're going to give you more lights. We're going to give you more sound. That's not what they want.
Right.
What they want is the experience and the detail. And you talked about, I mean, the amazing flavors that we tasted.
Oh my God.
You can tell that there was so much work that went into this to make such a spectacular experience for us. And who would have thought this little hole in the wall little restaurant?
Yeah. Rated number 17, by the way, on TripAdvisor out of all 1,500 restaurants in Milwaukee. That's why I picked it. Yeah, it really was a remarkable experience, and the idea that the portion size wasn't an issue to them at all, right? They're like, that's not going to be our thing. We're going to do small, intimate, little bits of just stuff you've never ever had before.
Focus on quality.
And they absolutely focus on quality. Yeah, they have no intention to get any bigger. You know, there's often a discussion in the DJ world, you know, about, you know, what am I going to add on? How am I going to expand? All this type of thing. And there is plenty of time and place for that. But I think people need to stop thinking that's the end all be all.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is Odd Duck last night so succinctly proved to us.
Yeah. So this little small plate had so much to offer. And,
it's unreal.
And I think that's whoever thought small plates could.
Yeah, the conversation that came up at our table last night because of what we were having was unreal. Yeah, I had this risotto made with cactus and prickly pear something or other. And God, and even at the Italian at our table, Jim Cerrone tasted it and went, oh, that's good.
Well, and then you guys got to dessert. And there's like, you're like, oh, of the brownie, you know, and they come out with these little square cubes that were like 1 inch by 1 inch by about 1.5 inches tall. I mean, they were these really small brownies. They were like $8. I'm like, man, that does not look like it's worth it.
But you savored every
you guys were biting into that as if it was like your last supper. I mean, it was incredible.
Yeah.
just watching the rate
Well,
being
there's
met.
something to be said for how we value something, right? If we just get given a lot of something, we don't value it near as much,
Right.
as when we're given just a small little something that's magnificent and beautiful all on its own. And I just love the way they bring that focus to you viscerally at your table.
Yeah.
Right? Not only are you forced to enjoy every bite of it because they're smaller portion sizes, but you then realize just how immaculate what you're tasting is.
Yeah.
Whereas had it been a bigger portion, a person might have just dug in and, you don't actually realize all of the stuff going on, this experience, this incredible food they've made.
It's like, when you think about when you go to the buffet, you're not thinking about the meal that you're eating in that moment. You're thinking about, what am I going to get when I go up there again?
Right.
And
so true.
You're so involved in what's going to happen as opposed to what's happening.
Yeah.
And in a performance, your job is to perform in that moment and think ahead of what's going to happen and be prepared for that. But you always have to go back and say, okay, just because that's my goal, I'm guaranteeing there's a curveball somewhere that I'm going to hit. Right. And you have to be ready to adapt to that. You have to get ready to make that next move to be in that moment.
Right. Well, and as I, pardon me, as I mentioned in that presentation this morning, if you've never heard of a restaurant called Alinea in Chicago, go and just search them on YouTube and watch the videos you will find. And there are hundreds of them, videos of people recording the food they're being served at this restaurant. It is a place that, again, has taken, the concept of food and completely turned it on its head and said, we want to create for people a remarkable experience that they will blog about, that they will record, that they will book flights to go and see. I mean, I read some blog posts, Jeremy, no word of a lie. I know I said this on the stage about flights, but I actually read a blog post of a guy who he and his wife have twice now booked a ticket to go here for dinner and then flown home and done this for their anniversary. And he has blogged about both experiences and how just, every idea he had about food was completely flipped on its head the first time he went there. And so they went back again 5-7 years later, whatever it was. And I think there's so many lessons to take away from that from our DJ business. I mean, sure, we play music, but as Jim Cerrone reminded us yesterday, we're not unique in that regard anymore. It used to be that there was this barrier between somebody getting a lot of music and somebody not, right? And, we used to be special because we had all this music.
Yeah, because we invested in it. Now everybody has it.
Now everybody has it, right? So if everybody has the same music library you got, what makes us special? Right? What makes us unique?
Yeah, and I think that was kind of what Jim's point was people can have the music, but they might not have the personality, they might not have the talent, right? And you can be the best mixer and DJ, but if you can't interact, if you can't be that spokesperson for a bride and groom, you're only at one facet. Actually, Mike Walter talked about that. He talked about the 4 wheels on a vehicle.
Yeah, that was wonderful.
And you never really put it into that perspective. You can't do it. You can't do just one thing. You have to be able to provide all these 4 things. You take one of those things off, your car's not going anywhere.
That's right. Yeah, so true.
Again, this has been an amazing conference. That I think everybody, even if it's driving distance, if you can fly into Milwaukee, you should be at this conference. This has been really great. I'm excited. I'm next. So
that's right. Yeah, you are. You're on.
I gotta go prep. I have like 3 minutes to somehow cut like 18 slides, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I certainly hope to see everybody here next year. And quick shout out. Look, Dave, I'm 6 hours away. I'm 8 hours away. You know what? Quick shout out.
I'm 9.5. You're Canadian guys.
And 4 of my friends and colleagues from Manitoba, God, they just, I had some apprehension, yes, about it being a first speaking opportunity and such, but 4 friends from Manitoba, DJ friends, drove 14 hours overnight, Saturday night through to Sunday.
After their shows.
They
even picked the guy up after his show at 2 a.m.
All to come down and surprise me. I had no idea they were coming. I had asked them, 6 months ago, 4 months ago, 3 months ago, hey, can you guys come over to us? Just like, nah. And
Dave was afraid nobody was going to actually listen to his presentation. So he's like, hey guys, I'll pay your way, whatever it needs to happen.
But anyway, they drove all this distance, and then you have, from the UK. So a special shout out to my boys in Manitoba. Thank you. It means the absolute world to me.
It's awesome. Well, guys, hey, like I said, I've got to go prep. Dave, congrats on an awesome seminar.
Thank you so much.
You did phenomenal. I look forward to seeing more of what you do.
Oh, crap. That'd be like second more.
And I guess we'll just have to keep seeing each other every week.
Outstanding. And
Maybe
thanks
not like
everyone for
this.
tuning in. Sorry we couldn't do this what we normally do, but hopefully this was added value actually and over and above what we could have normally done. So thanks, Jared.
Thank you,
Pleasure
Dave.
seeing you.
You bet.
Take care, everyone.
See you guys next time.
Cheers.